of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready. Mike's by 4. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Check the half 85, half 85.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Second and 12 at the 20-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
I got you. I got you. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Alert! You draw quarters.
Check, 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 check.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Here we go.
Now we're going to get a stoppage.
Here we go.
Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Twist.
Shoot, shoot. All 52. 49, check 49, check 49.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 39-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Watch it.
This is Cohen. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go.
Round 80.
Mike 50. Yep. Watch the twist. Check.
56, 56.
Back.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Right there. 54 Mike.
Come on, boy. Half 85, half 85. You better be ready.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they'd place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
What's tight? Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right. You got three down.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Double tight. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Two. Watch twist.
Black.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
A gain of 10 yards. That's good for our Vikings. First down.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Throwing is Cousins. Able to shake him off. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Check it out, 25, check 25, check 25.
X3. 218, chopper.
From the 38, Allen. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now Austin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Bryant's extra point up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Kill.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Let him know. Watch the air.
Hey, hold.
Right there. 54 Mike.
So don't say nothing.
Flare. Peek in.
Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen. The 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They got a 1st and goal just inside the... And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. That one good for 26 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. So they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
To Hunt! 180!
Watch 84! Watch 84! He's gone! Check, punch it! Check, punch it!
Good route here.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Third down.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Austin. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Cousins. It's caught by Sanders. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Diggs has it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it. Cook. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Brings up second and a yard at the 29-yard line.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, second and a yard.
No. Shoot.
Gun.
When the rep, let's go right here.
They run it again with Cook. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
He's crashing. He's checking crashing.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check. Hey, check 24. Slam. He's checking. Crash.
They run. This is Cohen. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Under 10. He goes to you. He comes to me, it's me.
Again, it's Cohen. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. On 3rd down, Cohen. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the 1st down carry. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 44-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, we got 3 down. Switch.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a run with Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
3 down.
Hey, high 7.
From the 41, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Past the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Mike's 50.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Tariq Cohen, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins now. And he's got his man on the out route. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Cook running right. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Shit! Watch the shit.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Right there, 54 Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Wide, get wide. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Middle.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. It's coming this way. Here we go.
5 wide.
Watch the shit.
On 3rd down, Cohen. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 15 yards on the play, first down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, no, easy.
94 is the Mike.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. The Sanders has got it complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
61, match box.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Here we go.
Now Cousins on fourth down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They try again with Cohen. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Right there.
319. Alert. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cohen, and this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.